Hello and welcome to our 16th session, and in this session we are going to improve our living room program skill scene wherein we had added a robot and we made it move in just one room, that is the living room. In this session we are going to explore how we can combine assets from different scenes and create one master scene from other sub scenes. We will place our robo cleaner inside our kids room. First we are going to show them the ball animation, and then from the kids room the robo cleaner moves into the kitchen where we are going to experience the spatial audio, and from the kitchen it moves into the living room, and finally when it collects all the collectibles you will have a celebration sound. And we are also going to add the collectible scoreboard UI to our 3D scene. Now continuing from our previous 15th session, we now have our 4 living room programming scene open. Now come to File and choose Save As. And now in Unity Profile, inside Unity Profile Contents, inside Scene, I am going to call this as 02 3D Game Programming Skills, and I am going to save this. Coming into the hierarchy, select this 3 living room game object completely. With shift pressed select the player, and with shift pressed select the collectibles also. Coming into the scene view, on this gizmo right click and come into the top view. Just zoom out and drag this and place it almost to the left end. We have placed this entire living room on the left corner of our ground area. Come to File and save this. We are now going to come here to this 3 kitchen audio scene. Double click to open it. Coming into the hierarchy, I am going to select 2 kitchen with shift press, boiling pot, background music, bird 1, 2, 3 and audio reverb zone. So I select all the items here except main camera and directional light and the environment. Now right click and create an empty object, and in capital I will type this kitchen and press enter. Now this entire kitchen is grouped under one game object. In the project window, come into Asset, Unity Profile Contents, inside Prefab, My Prefabs, double click to open it. Now drag this kitchen over here. So this entire kitchen now got converted into a prefab. Now in the project window, come back to Assets and in Unity Profile Contents, come into Scene, double click this 2_3D program skills, double click to open it. If it asks to save your 3 kitchen audio scene, you need not save it. You can click don't save, and now come into the project window, Asset, Unity Profile Content, Prefabs, My Prefab, and now drag this kitchen into the scene. So now you can see the kitchen has been added. I am going to move it close to this wall here. I will right click and turn around. I will drag this manually to the top. Come to Gizmo, right click and come into the front view, and I will zoom in and I will slightly move it and place it exactly over to the level of my living room. So I will move it by around 1.65 along the y axis, and along the z I can set it to 0 and x is at -4.35. I will now come into the gizmo, right click, come into the top view. I am going to move along the z axis so that this synchronizes with this door. So if I now right click, turn around and press Q and come down, and if required press W and come here, press Q and come down, and I will press D and move to the side. I am going to move it along the Z axis like this, so that I will just middle mouse click and pan it a little, then move it only along the Z axis so that this synchronizes with the door of my living room. I am going to come into File and save this. So kitchen, we have placed it at x -4.35, z -1.234 and y 1.65. After saving our scene, come back to your project window, Asset, Unity Profile Content, Scene. I am now going to open my kids room 3D scene. Double click this kids room 3D scene to open. I will select this 01 bedroom and double click it. With alt click, turn around and you can have a look at this scene. I am going to select this 3-bedroom with shift press. I select the bed, dresser, nightstand, alarm clock, rug, then laundry basket, and then the ball, ramp. I will select the block tower and also the photo. Except environment, direction, light and camera, I have selected everything. I will right click and I am going to create an empty parent and I am going to call this in capital as kids room. I will close this and now coming back into the project window, asset, unity, profile, contents, prefab, my prefabs. Now I will drag this kids room, drop it in my prefabs folder. So this has been converted into a prefab. I will come back into asset, unity, profile, contents in the scenes. Now again I will double click and open my 02 3D game programming skills file. Double click to open it, and if it asks me to save this kids room 3D scene, I am not going to save it. Click don't save. I will come into my project window, asset, unity, profile, contents, prefabs, my prefabs, and now I am going to drag kids room now and put it into my hierarchy. Come into the scene view, right click, press D and move to the side. I will move it to the side. I will right click on this gizmo and come into the front view, and first I am going to move it along the y axis. I will right click on the gizmo and disable perspective so that now I can see this correctly. So now I will drag this and place it exactly at the same height. I will also select this kitchen and I will slightly move it down. All these are aligned correctly. Kitchen along Y, I have changed it to 1.61. Select the kids room also. It is set to 1.89 along the Y axis. Then I will right click and come into the top view, and then along the X axis I will move it to the side, and then I will move it forward here, and if I right click and turn around, I will come into this view, right click and I will enable perspective, and now if I right click, press D and come on the other side, see here you have the door, and I am going to move this and align it so that this end aligns here with this door, and I will also move it along the X axis so that it just sits on kitchen. So I will just bring close, press Q and see that the door is correctly placed, and now I doesn't need this door. I will right click, I will come into, I will open this prefab, and inside this you have two kitchen. I will open it, and inside this you have floor and walls. I will open this. I am going to now select wall door 2M2 and I will open this, and here you have one door. I will select this and come into the inspector and I will switch it off. So this door is now open. If I right click and move on the other side, press E to move up. Now in case of this door, now I will close this kitchen group, and now I will come into the 3 living room, and if I open this, in the floor and walls, if I open it, you have this door 2M1, and if I open this, inside this also there is a door. This door we are configured it in such a way so that when the player comes, the door is going to open automatically. I will come into the gizmo here. I will come into the top view. With middle mouse click, I will just pan it here, and only this collider area I am going to move it to the right. I am now going to come into this box collider, and along the Z axis, if I move this, I will move it on the other side of the wall, because now our player is going to move in this direction. Now I will go to file and save this. Coming into the player position, instead of starting it from the left, I am now going to zoom out here in the scene view. Selecting the player, I will move it along the Z axis, and I will bring the player into my kids room here. Middle mouse click, bring it here, and I will slightly drag it here and then move it back. Enable the camera preview here so that I can see the preview. Camera will be placed at this. I will move it. This position is finite. So if I come into the game view, this is the view with which the game is going to start. I will come back into the scene view. With the player set to the position x 0.55 and along the y I will set it at 0.09 and along the z axis I will set it at -2. I will next come into the hierarchy and select the collectible game object. Now if I double click on the collectibles, as of now all these collectibles are placed only in my living room and I want this to be distributed all over the 3 rooms now. I will open this collectibles game object and here I will leave one dirt one as it is. I will select the second one, that is dirt one 1, scroll down and with shift press select till this dirt one 33. I will press delete to remove it off. So in collectible as of now we have only one dirt. Now I am going to drag it along the x-axis. I will off this camera preview, middle mouse click and pan to the first room and I am going to drag it. I will place it near my player here and I will move it and place it so that it aligns with this door. I am now going to move it at an equidistance. So for that I am going to use the snapping. I will click on snapping, set the snap value to around 0.7 and I will enable snapping. Now with this dirt one selected, I will press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Then if I move, it automatically gets snapped at 0.7 unit. I will press Ctrl D and again move it, it moves by 0.7. Ctrl D, again move it, it moves by 0.7. Ctrl D, I will again move it, it moves by 0.7. With middle mouse click, I will come on the other side, press Ctrl D and I will drag it, Ctrl D, move along the x-axis by one snap, that is 0.7 unit. Then Ctrl D, now I will move it along the z-axis, Ctrl D, move once, Ctrl D, move 0.7, Ctrl D, move 0.7 and Ctrl D, and this time I will move it along the x-axis. Again press Ctrl D, move it along the x-axis, Ctrl D, move it by 0.7, Ctrl D, move it by 0.7. Now I will middle mouse click and come on the final room here. Press Ctrl D and move it. Press Ctrl D, move it. Ctrl D, move it by 0.7. Ctrl D and now I will move it along the Z axis. Ctrl D, move it by 0.7. Ctrl D, move it by 0.7. Then Ctrl D, I will move it along the X axis. Ctrl D, move it along the X axis. Ctrl D, move it along the X axis. Ctrl D, move it along the x-axis, Ctrl D and move it along the x-axis, Ctrl D and move it along the x-axis, Ctrl D and move it along the x-axis. We have approximately around 27 collectibles arranged throughout the 3 rooms now. I will just close these collectibles. Now come into file, save this and now if I execute my game, see now you can see the ball falls down, it goes and hits the tower, everything falls down. Then I am going to press D and turn on the other side. Then I will press W to move here and if I now touch it, see the dirt got destroyed. Then I will just move straight, this one, I am going to destroy all this. Then I will turn again to the right, I will move and destroy all this dirt. Then I will move to the left. Right now the door is closed. But as I move closer, you can see the door opens. Now I am going to actually destroy all this dirt. Then again I will press A to turn left. Press W and I am going to move like this. Again press D to turn to right. And now if I just click here and move, see? So I am going to press W and destroy all this. I will stop the playback. Next, I want to create a user interface wherein as I collect the dirt, I need a counter running here showing me out of total dirt how much I have collected. If you come into the project window, assets and in Unity profile content, if you come into prefab UI, you have one remaining underscore collectible UI already provided to you. Just drag it into your scene. And if you double click it, you are not seeing because I am in the top view. If I right click, if I come into the back view, you can see this collectibles remaining. This is the user interface already provided to you with all the code. Now I am going to go to file, save this, and now if I execute the file, as of now it is showing me collectibles remaining 0. I have to reset it to the total number of collectibles that I have used in the scene. So I will stop the playback. For the reference, I am now going to come into Asset, Unity Profile Contents. I will come into Scene and I will open my 01 2D game scene. And in this scene, you can see that in remaining collectible UI, if I open it, you have this image. If I open it, you have this text. And for this text, if you scroll down, this is attached with a component called as update collectible count. This script is present in, if you come into the project window, Asset, Unity Profile Content Source File, and in scripts we have this update collectible count script. And if I double click and open this, if you scroll through and go through this script, you can now see that it is asked to get type collectible. What has happened is, if you come back into Unity and in this 2D version, if I open my collectibles and if I select this dirt 2D, you can now see that this is attached with a script called as collectible 2D script. However, if I now come back to Unity Profile Content Scenes and if I open my 3D game programming skills, and if I now come into collectibles and if I select dirt 1 and if I scroll down, this is attached with collectible script. I have to change the name of this script. One S is extra, and this script we had actually created it by ourselves. So if you come into Unity Profile Content, in scripts we had created this collectible script. So I have to rename this as collectible. I am going to now select this script, right click, and I am going to rename this as, instead of collectibles, I will remove the S. And now once I remove the S and when the script is compiled, you are going to see an error when I play it. When I change the file name, I have to double click and open this script in Visual Studio Code, and in the class name also I have to remove this S. The file name and this class name mono behavior should always be the same. Now if I come to file and if I save this, now if I come back to Unity, allow the script to get compiled, in console I doesn't see any error. Now if I play the game, you can now see that the number is automatically updated. So now I will just press D and turn on the other side, and as I move and collect the collectible, see as I collect it, see the numbers are decreasing. So now we have this interface which shows me that I am collecting the collectibles correctly. So now I will stop the playback. Now let us tweak this game a little. The very first thing I need in this game is, if I double click on 3 living room, you can see the scene here. When the player is collecting the collectible, I want a small sound to play. So if you come into Unity Profile Contents and if you come in Audio, in Sound Effects, you have one SFX blip sound. So if I play it, I want this sound to play. We have to modify the collectible script. If you come into the Patreon page link provided in the YouTube description or in the e-learning description, if you scroll down, I have provided you with a script called as collectible_modify.txt. Click on this to download it, and once it downloads, just double click to open this text document, press Ctrl A to select everything, right click and copy this. Now coming back to Unity, come to Unity Profile Content, come here into scripts, and we had created this collectible script. Double click to open this, press Ctrl A to select everything, press delete, and then press Ctrl V and paste the content that you copied from the text file. Now go to file and save it. Now come back to Unity and allow for the script to compile. Once it compiles, you can come into the console window and see that you doesn't have any errors. Now come into collectibles, open it, Now come into the project window and in assets, Unity profile content audio, I am going to open sound effects. Now again I will come into the hierarchy and in collectible click on dirt 1, scroll down and select till this dirt 27 and now drag this SFX blip file and attach it to this collect SFX. I will now come back into the hierarchy and I have a background music playing here which is very loud. So I will close this collectible and I will open kitchen, and in kitchen I have a background music. I am going to select this and I am going to come here in the volume and I will set it to just 0.1. Go to file and save this, and now if I start the playback, so you can now see it is playing. Now I press D and turn, and when I click on the collectible, see you hear a small beeping sound. See, you can hear a beeping sound. Okay, so now we have added one audio. I will stop the playback. Once all the collectibles are collected, I want to play a winning music, and also I have to create a particle effect of celebration. This winning music is again in this project window, asset, Unity profile content, audio sound effect. You have an SFX underscore win sound, and if I play it, see this is the sound that I wanted to play. And also if you come into Unity profile contents and in source file VFX, I have one VFX starburst and I want this animation to play at the end. Again I have provided you an updated script. Come into the Unity Patreon page, the link for which I have provided in the YouTube description and e-learning description. If you scroll down, I have provided you with another file called as update collect count modified.txt. Now click on this link, and once it downloads, open this folder and double click on this text file to open it. Now press Ctrl plus A to select everything and right click and copy this text. Now come back into Unity. In the project window, if you come into assets, Unity profile contents, I will double click to open it, and in source file, in scripts, we have this update collect count. Double click to open this in Visual Studio Code. Press Ctrl A to select everything, press del to delete it, and then press Ctrl V to paste the newly copied script. Now once you paste it here, come to file and save this, come back to Unity and wait for the script to get compiled. Once it is compiled, come to console and see that there is no error. And now in the hierarchy, you have this canvas remaining collectible UI. And if you open it, you have the image, and inside image you have this text mesh pro component. And if you come into the inspector and if you scroll down, now you have this update collectible count script, and with the new script you have 4 variables that has been added. The first variable is the audio source. I have to first create an audio source or an audio game object in my scene. I will come into hierarchy, I will deselect everything, right click, come into audio, and I am going to create a new audio source. I am going to type win audio and press enter. I will come back into text TMP. Now in the inspector, I will scroll down and come into this update collectible count, and in the audio source, I will drag this win audio and connect it to this audio source. You want the win sound effect. Come into the project window, in asset, Unity profile content, audio, in sound effects, I have my SFX win. So I will come back to this text TMP and come to the right side, scroll up, and now I will drag this SFX win and attach it here in win sound effect socket. Next we need the final VFX particle system special effects. If you come into the project window, in asset, Unity profile content, inside the source file you have VFX. Here you have this VFX starburst. So in hierarchy I will select TextTMP again. I will come into the inspector, scroll down, and I will drag this Win starburst and attach it here in this Win VFX prefab. Finally, at which point you want this animation to play. And for that Win VFX spawn point, I am going to come into the hierarchy, select the player, drag the player and add it here, so that at the player point this animation is going to play. Go to file, save this, and now if you play the game, now I will press D and turn on the other side, press W to move forward, then I will turn to the press D and return, and now I select every collectible here. I will again turn right by pressing D and collect all the collectible. Then I will press A and turn to the left and collect all the collectibles here. And I will press D and slightly turn to right. I select all the collectibles. So still I have 10 remaining. I will turn here and select all these collectibles. Then I will turn back here and I will just select this, and I will come here and select 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now when I select the final one, see winning music playing and also an animation of a blast. So now I will stop the playback. We have updated 2 scripts here, and if you want to understand exactly how this script works, if you come into Patreon page link, if you scroll down, you have been provided with a file, collectible script updated explained, and if you download this, you can open this step by step. Every line of code in this updated collectible script is explained to you. So you can go through this, and similarly, if you come back to this Patreon page, there is one update collectible count updated explained. Click on this and download it. And now if you open this PDF, how the updated collectible count script is going to actually add the sound, starburst sound effect and winning sound effect, how this is playing as soon as the counter reaches 0. A full explanation of this is provided. So you can go through it to understand exactly how this script is going to work. Coming back to Unity, now one last thing that I want to do here is, if I middle mouse click and come into this kids room, we have an animation of ball falling here and going and hitting this tower. I want to add a sound effect for this ball, so that when the ball drops, I should hear a bounce sound, and when it hits this block, I want the sound to play. I am now going to create a new script. Come into Unity profile content, come into scripts. Now I will right click, come into create, and I am going to create a mono behavior script. Give it the name as BallCollisionSounds. Use the same spelling and case as shown here, and allow it to compile. I will double click and open this script in Visual Studio Code. The code for this script is again provided to you in the Patreon page. So if you come into the Patreon page, you have one BallCollisionSounds.txt file. Click on this, and once it downloads, open this file, press Ctrl A to select everything, right click and copy this. Now come back to Visual Studio Code, and in this BallCollisionSound.cs, press Ctrl A, delete everything, and press Ctrl V to paste it. Whatever class name you are giving it here for this file, I will copy this class name and I will save this. If I close this and come back into Unity, allow for the script to compile, and once it compiles, the name of this script, if I right click and choose rename, I am going to paste the same class name, so that the name of your file, and if I double click and open it in Visual Studio Code, the name of this class should always be the same. We have added two tags here. One is called as the ramp and another is called as the cube. Coming back to Unity, I am now going to come into this kitchen, close this, and I will open the kids room. And in the kids room, I have ball. I am going to select this ball. I am going to drag this ball collision sound and I am going to attach it to this ball. Come into inspector and scroll down. You have ball collision sound. You have to add two sound effects. Now in Unity what happens is, I have selected this ball and you are seeing the inspector content here. But if I select some other object, the inspector is going to change. I doesn't want this inspector to change when I select other objects in asset. In Unity, in inspector, you on the right hand side, you have one lock button. So if you click on the lock button, if I come into asset, Unity profile content, if I open audio sound effect, now see the inspector is not going to change, it remains the same. And now for the bounce effect, I am going to drag this SFX ball bounce and add it to the bounce effect. And for the wood hit effect, I will drag this SFX wood knock and I will add it to it. I have to unlock the inspector now. Select the ramp here. You can see the ramp selected, and here in tag, I will click on add tag and I will click on the plus button. Come into the script now in Visual Studio Code. In BallCollisionSounds, we have given a name here as ramp. I will right click, copy this name, come back into Unity, and for the new tag, I will press Ctrl V and give the same tag name and I am going to save it. Now I will select the ramp and in the tag, I am going to select this ramp tag. We have block tower, and if I open block tower, you have different block towers here, and for every block tower you have this block. I select this block, right click, and I will open this prefab and open asset in context. If I click on this, I am going to edit this prefab. For this prefab, now I will come into tag, I will come here and I am going to add a new tag, and I will come back to script, and for this I will give the name tag as cube. I will copy this, now come back to Unity, click on plus, press Ctrl V and create a tag by name cube, save it. I will come and select the block, and in tag I am going to select cube. I will come back to the scene and I will go to file and save this. If I play the game now, see, can you hear the sound of the ball pitching and all these blocks falling? So we have successfully added this sound effect also. Now I will stop the playback. Now if you want to understand how this ball bounce code is working, you can again come into Patreon page, and you have been provided with a file called as BallCollisionSounds script explained. And if you click on this, download this PDF, double click and open this, and here you have been given step-by-step instruction about how this code is going to function. You can go through it and understand the code. I will come back to Unity, come to file, and I am going to save it. We have successfully made our 3D game programming skills file ready. Now I will come into project window, asset, Unity profile contents, and in scene, now I will come into file, build profile, and I will come into open scene list. I am going to drag this 3D game programming skills and put it in this list, and this file now has the index number 2. I will close this. I will now double click this 0 main menu scene to open this. I will come into the canvas, in panel scene select, I open the panel scene list, and here we had done this 01 2D game ready in our previous session. I will double click this kids room button, and this is the second button you are seeing. I will press F2 and I am going to rename it as 3D game programming. Then I will open this, select this text component, come into this text component, and here I am going to type 3D game programming. Then if I deselect, you can see this name has been added. Now I will select this 3D game programming again, come into inspector, the highlight color has already been set, and if I scroll down, now I have set this on click event to go to the index number 2, which is nothing but our 3D game programming, which we added in build profile. If you come into build profile, you can see index number 2. I have to come into the scene, open this 3D game programming skill, and it is asking me whether I want to save main menu scene. Click save. Once you open it, now I have this remaining collectible UI. I will double click. Inside this now, I will right click and I am going to add an UI component, a button. I am going to call this as back_btn button. I will select this button, come into the inspector, and in the highlight color, I will set alpha 255, B 255 and G 130 so that you see this blue color. I will close it. I will come back in the hierarchy, select the text component, come into text input, and I will change the name to back. Come back to this back button and I will set its width to 90. And now I want this button to be on the bottom right corner. So in the rect transform, in this alignment, I will alt click here and select the bottom right so that it is aligned to the bottom right. I have to now add functionality to this back button so that when they click on back button, it has to go to the main menu. I will come into the project window, asset, Unity profile contents, and in source file, in scripts, we have a script here, load scene by index. In hierarchy, I select this remaining collectible UI component. Then I will drag this load scene by index and attach it to this canvas component, remaining collectible UI. If you come into the inspector, you can see this script has been added. I will select the back button and in the inspector I will scroll down, and in on click I am going to click on plus to add a click event. Leave this at runtime only, and in the object I am going to drag this remaining collectible UI and attach it here. Now in the function, if I click here, you have load scene by index, and I will choose load scene integer and I will set its value to 0. 0 is nothing but the main menu scene. I will now come back to the file and save this. For the buttons to work, you should have this event system added into the scene. If this event system is not there, say for example it is deleted, and if it is not present, you can right click, come into the UI and you can add this event system. Then I will come in the project, come into asset, Unity profile content, scenes, and I am going to now open this 0 main menu scene. I will double click canvas to see the canvas area. Then I will click on the play button. I have this 3D game programming. Now when I click on it, you can see this will come into the 3D game programming. You hear all the sound, and I can press D and I can continue playing here. So this is working fine, and once I complete the game and if I click on the back button, this will bring me back to my main menu. We have successfully created 2 profile links, one for the 2D game and another is for the 3D game. Now I will stop the playback, and in our next session we are going to customize another scene and build art museum, and this we are going to do it in our next session.